Hello bead hoarders. I might be gone this weekend, so I'm going to do this tutorial during the week, which is highly unusual for me. I've been working for, I don't know, like a year or so. I'm trying to figure out raised clump beading and raised bead embroidery. And I think I figured it out. I don't know if I have for sure, but it looks good to me. It looks very similar to the old style, and I'll show you what I came up with. These are samples that I made. This is a big one. You can see the height there. This one is more open. This is the first one that I felt somewhat successful at. I liked the flower effect. It looks like a rose. It's very open, so I would do this on you know, something pretty underneath, not this ugly white interfacing. This one was lower but tighter, really nice. I liked it. And this one came out okay, a little higher. I'm trying to get that height, you know, that real height, high height that they got. Came out okay. And then this one was my last one, and this was getting very close to where I wanted to be. It's not difficult. It was a little frustrating to try to figure out how this was done, but I think I did it. There is nothing holding these beads up. There is nothing underneath there. It's just the beadwork. And the way I did this, go with this one, the way I made this one, is I drew a circle. I have a little circle template. I use the biggest circle. It's 28 millimeter or 1 1/8 inch high, round diameter. And oops, it would have been a good idea if I took my beads out, huh? I just used 11 rounds. These lights are so hot. You start with different counts. I started, the base row is with 10, and then I added 2 beads as I went up. I used 2 colors of beads for this, but for this video I'm just going to use 1, I think. Like I said, I started with 10, and 12, and 14, and 16 until you get to the center. Not hard. Trying to figure out spacing was not easy. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. These are Miyuki. Size 11 rounds. And come on, focus. Thank you. I stretched the beads across to the next part of the line. Okay. Found a halfway point and put my needle through. This way I got some very consistent loops. Okay. You're going to bring your needle back up on the inside, about 2 beads away from where your needle went down. 1 or 2 on that line, like this. Come back up. You're going to pick up 10 more. And you're going to stretch the beads across to the next point in the circle. Find the halfway point, put your needle down, you can get all kinds of different effects by adjusting the length of your loops, adjusting the counts in your loops, I mean, it's endless what you can do, apparently. And again, you're going to bring your needle up on the line about 2 beads from where it went down, right here. And don't get anything caught. Here again, pick up 10, put your needle down halfway, all the way around. And I'll be back. Okay, I'm going to put on the last group of 10 here. See, I've gone all the way around. This little loopy thing going on. So just like I've done all the way around, I'm bringing, I don't think it's going to be my last. I think I'm going to have one more. Ignore that. I've stretched it out into my circle, my beads. I'm going to put my needle down halfway. Well, maybe I won't. Maybe this could be the last one. Let's see what happens. See if I worked it out. And you go here. Yeah, that'll be fine. Okay, you have a ring like this. You're going to bring your needle up at a point where one of your loops begins, but closer to the inside. Like that. Let's see. Like right about there. I'm using this loop as a guide. Okay. And instead of 10, we're going to work in groups of 12. My thread keeps getting caught here. 12. I'm going to repeat this ring. I'm going to show you how to place these beads. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It is so satisfying to finally figure something out, you know, that you've been trying to figure out. Really satisfying. And to know you did it all by yourself. No one helped you. I'm really, really, really cool, happy about it. Okay, my thread is coming out here. And I've got another intersection here and here where the beads come out, where they've started. That's where you want to go. And you want to place them in such a way that you're getting closer to the center. Here's another loop right here. I'm putting my needle as if it's going to be a continuation of that loop, but it's not. I'm actually starting a new ring, okay, with 12s. You're going to put your needle again, whoops, up in between that loop. Here's my loop, close to where your needle went down, but closer to the center of your circle. And you're going to pick up another 12. Again, none of these counts are written in stone. This is just one I came up with. Experiment. Experiment to your heart's delight. Okay, I have 12 on. I'm going to put my needle down in the next, where the next loop is, but closer to the center. And again, bring my needle up, close to where it went down in that loop. Pick up another 12. and down where that next loop starts. And you're going to do this all the way around with 12 beads. Okay, I'm going to add my last group of 12. I've got my thread coming out, see, underneath that loop there, and I'm going to put my needle behind this first loop and close to the bead next to it there to continue that ropey, loopy thing going on here. See how this is working out? You're going to bring your needle back up closer to the center. Damn this thing. Close to the center and close to the bead, you know, the first bead coming up in the loop there. And you're going to add 14 beads now, repeating the same twisty turny stitch. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. It gets a little hard to see when you got a lot of stuff going on, so take your time. I do. Coming out here, I had to turn so you can kind of see. I'm coming out here, and I'm going to go back down here. Can you kind of tell? Can you kind of see how I'm doing this? I'm going back down closer to the center and right across from the beginning of the next loop. Right there. And I'm going to bring my needle back up in between that loop I just added. Pick up 14 more. You can spread it out more if you want. It's, like I said, no rules. 12, 13, 14. And you're going to go right here. Closer to the center though. And this is how you get the height of these little clusters. You just add more beads as you go in toward the center. I started, when I first tried to figure this out, I was starting in the center and working out. That's wrong. You start out and work in. It's very satisfying to figure out a problem. At least it is for me. 11, 12, 13, 14. One more time. I'm coming out from in between that loop I just made. I'm going to put my needle down in close to the next loop, but closer to the center. And you're going to keep working this all the way around. I'll be back, and I dropped a threaded needle somewhere in this house. I'm sure I'll find it when I take my shoes off. Adding my last line of 14. So now it looks like this. See the height we're getting? Very satisfying. I'm going to bring my needle up between one of these last loops I just made. And we're going to add 16 now. All the way around. 15, 16. Just like before. You're going to put your needle. I'm tilting and I got to sit up here to see. Closer to the center and right at the edge of the one of the loops. Next loop you added in there in the previous row. It's going to stick up a little bit more. It should anyway. If it doesn't stick up enough, add a couple more beads. 1 or 2 more. I'm going to be announcing a contest. It'll be fun. It'll be a big one too. I'm thinking about maybe like $100 worth of beads. But gotta use your little noggins for this. It's gonna be the rules. 15, 16. Again, put your needle down. Oh, you can kind of judge if you can't see the loops anymore. If they're getting too hard to see, you can kind of tell where to put your needle. You know, just try to space it as evenly as you can. I'm using a fishing line I picked up last weekend because they didn't have any more fire line. And I was not going to use 20 pound, sorry, or 10 pound. It's called Stealth Braid. And it works pretty good. You know, works okay. It's 6 pound, it's very strong. It's very fine, but very smooth. Glides through. The only thing I don't like about it is that, see this tail? Frays like, ugh, crazy. So, you have to dip it in, I don't know, something, glue or nail polish or something to make it not do that, because it's getting caught, knotting, and no fun. So add 16 all the way around your centers, just like I showed you before. 15, 16. Right? And then by the time you go around, you should only have to add 1 or 2 more loops of 18 beads. And you'll end up with this. Something looks like this. And it's very, you know, it's not going to flatten or squish down or anything like that. I was really happy. Really, really happy. So when I go around, I'll be back. Alright, I've got 16 beads looped in there. Like I said, see how tiny that hole is? You really only need 1 or 2 more loops. Maybe 3. I just love the way this came out. I am very, very, very satisfied. So it would be 18 now, because we finished with 16. 18, and you know, no biggie on placement, just get them in there, try to loop them as best you can, keep your petals a little separated, bring your needle back up in between that loop you just made. Oops, but on the inside, not the outside. You're always bringing your needle up from the inside. Yeah, need more beads. Now, this little flower took almost this whole, how many grams is this? 10 grams. Need a lot of beads for these. It's worth it. Yeah, 17, 18. Get one in there. I might make one more. One more loop. I don't know. What do you think? Leave it? One more? I'll leave it. You get the idea, right? The height. Stable. It's not going anywhere. Very clever. So, I hope you enjoyed this completely unoffensive and benign beading video. If you'd like to see more insipidly unoffensive beading videos, subscribe to my channel. Until then, I'll give you more details on the contest later. Stay happy, stay inspired.